Yeah, it's about that time again. I start getting comments like this. Sometimes I feel like Mariah Carey on November the 1st. Get the hairdryer out, get the boy defrosted, because he's back with another set of slippery sliders. We are back, geezers, with another set of sliders. And yeah, been big changes in the game. We're seeing a lot more varied gameplay, which I actually like, to be fair. Now, I've tested these sliders a couple of times, and someone asked me the other day on one of my videos, they want to see the gameplay. It's a great idea, so you know what I've gone and done? I've gone and stuck it on the side for you, so you can watch along with the gameplay from the testing of these sliders as we go through them. But without further ado, let's get into it now. We've changed them up a little bit. There's a few key differences. And again, as I always say, these are based on Matt 10 sliders. Unbelievable set of sliders. I always kind of base my set of sliders off his, or just kind of tweak my own. But they are based off his from the very start anyway. So sprint speed, we're looking at 38 for each side. Now again, if you've never looked at some of my sliders before, this is the first time then you need to know I like realistic sliders, and that's the base that I want to try and focus on for a lot of these sliders. So we're always looking at realism, but again, we need to still have the fun aspect to the game. So 38 for both user and CPU just means that the game's a little bit slower, a little bit more chilled out, so we can have that varied gameplay. Acceleration is at 49. I've been flirting between 50 and 49. I went up to 50 and tried it out because I've heard that a few people saying that it feels a little bit better at 50. For me, it just feels a little bit too frenetic. The game that we've got against Braga and PSG that I've been playing, you'll see some highlights in here. I felt that it was just that Braga just had a little bit more spark to the game, and it didn't feel like we had that spark as PSG, and that didn't feel right. But then when I changed it back to 49 for the game of Union Berlin and Liverpool, I felt there was a little bit more balanced. It was realistic. It was, some of the players were slow, but some of the players were really, really quick, and their wingers felt really quick, but our wingers felt more quick, if you get me. And yeah, it just, the balance was really, really nice. So 49 for me feels like it's a good one. But if you like that faster gameplay, then please do change it up to 50. I think 49, 50 for me made a bit of a difference, but for other people it may make not so much difference, and that 50 does feel quick and exciting. So if that's what you like, then please make sure that you get it up to 50. Shot error is 60 for the user and 56 for the CPU. Quite a substantial amount lower for the CPU, and we'll talk about why. It's one of those things that I've consistently had now for God knows how long, and I've seen a lot of sliders that are a lot higher in terms, especially the realistic ones, a lot higher with the shot error. And I think for me, the reason that it's lower than a lot of them, because I've seen like 75 in terms of shot error, we use precision shooting, and that is one of the most important things that you can turn on this year. Precision shooting. When you catch a ball right in this game, oh my god, you can score some absolute unbelievable stunners, and I've already scored a couple of them, especially in my my Starbridge career mode that I did. Unbelievable stuff. So 60 and 56 for the CPU. Pass error is going to be 58 for us and 56 for the CPU. Now, I still like a lot of challenge. I don't really want to be kind of winning games by 5-6 goals, even if I am Liverpool and I'm playing against Stockport or something like that. I still want the challenge to be there. And then in the Premier League, I want any of the teams in that league to be able to beat me, even if I was top of the league. So it's really, really important that the challenge is there, and that's why I've got that 58 to 56. It means that you can't be spraying balls left, right and centre. Not every single ball that you play is going to be on the money. It's real life, isn't it? Shot speed then, we've upped it to 49. I think it was just a little bit lower last set of sliders. And I think with this new update, things started to feel a little bit slower, and my shots seem to be a bit heavier rather than them being kind of, when you catch them sweet, they're absolutely flying. And there was a couple of goals that we scored for Leipzig against Lyon, and that kind of made it for me that this was bang on. 49 felt really, really nice. Still want it to be quite quick, and like I said, it doesn't affect other shots like your finesse shots. So again, if you are using, or you do tend to use finesse shots a little bit more, then you'll be sweet still anyway. Pass speed 41 and 41. Again, looking for that realism, looking for that slower, methodical play in that midfield. That's where realistically I play most of my football. I don't really play on the wings anymore because the headering is so shit. So a lot of the stuff that happens is happening in that midfield. But I still want it to be slow-ish, and that pass speed being so low kind of means that you have to be really deliberate, and you have to be facing the player who you want the ball to go to, rather than just doing little tricks and flicks and blah, blah, blah. Injury frequency, 72 and 72. I've dropped it down a little bit because I was getting a fair few injuries. I've just recorded a new series, and there was 2 real significant injuries in that squad, and I was starting to feel like, yeah, I'm getting a far too many injuries, and a lot of them were being quite severe as well. Now, I didn't really want to change the severity because I don't want to put it down anymore, but I thought frequency needs to drop a little bit. You could even go to 70 if you're finding it's too much, but I want to rock with this 72 at the minute. In the games that I've used when I've been testing, I haven't received any injuries, but the opposition has received a couple, so I think we've got a good balance. Realistically, you should be getting a bad injury to one player every half a season, realistically, and you should be getting really minor injuries to about 4 or 5 players every half a season, and I think that's what we've got it to, but I could be wrong. We'll see how we go when we go into the career mode. Goalkeeper ability for us is going to be 60, and we're keeping it at 65. I could even drop this down a little bit, and we could even drop this maybe down a little bit, but at the minute I like the opposition having opportunities, but our goalkeeper being able to save them, and the same for us. We carve out a lot of opportunities. I love a long shot, and the keepers being equal to them, but again, still having that opportunity to score. And I'm finding that if we get it right, they still fly in, which is really, really nice. And again, the Leipzig game that you'll see in the other side of the screen is case in point. Scored some bangers in there. Marking, we've upped this a little bit because I'll show you in a second when we go into CPU sliders that we've dropped the aggression down a little bit. And I always find that is a massive thing. I don't mind the players being closer to my players. I just don't want them flying into tackles and running at me as soon as I've got the ball. So we'll look at the aggression in a little bit. You'll probably be able to drop the aggression down a little bit more. But I think the marking is good. They should have that starting point that's a little bit closer to your players, which is what we're looking at here. So 63 and 63 feels really good. We've dropped the run frequency down a little bit because I was finding lots of spaces, and again, like I said, I play in the middle of midfield, and at the minute in my career mode that the series that I'm just starting, I've got a midfield 3, and what I was tending to see happen is my 2 wingers that I've been told to kind of, one to stay really wide and the other one to stay really high, they were just unmarked. And again, that's great for me, but is it great for realism? Well, no, probably not. So run frequency, dropping that down a little bit, but still having it fairly high so that you get those opportunities and get those chances. Line height for the user and the CPU, I've upped it 75. I want teams to step up a little bit. It's not too high so that you can just dink balls over the top to your on-rushing strikers and things like that. But they step out a little bit, and they're going to stop you from having the long shots, the easy long shots anyway. So if you are going to bang a long shot, it's got to be from a long way out. But yeah, I feel like that line height, them stepping up again with the marking, that's a big change to kind of stop there being so many goals. Because again, that's something consistently I've been seeing people saying, oh, I'm scoring loads, I'm conceding loads, blah blah blah. Well, this might help this. Line length then, 32. So from goal to goal, this is how compact the game feels in that middle of midfield. I've lowered this a little bit to 32 because, again, I was finding that I was getting lots and lots of space. Like, it seemed like it was midfield and then strikers and defenders were miles away from each other, and I was just being able to pick the ball up in centre defensive midfield, run it into the attacking midfield areas completely unopposed, because my team had 3 midfielders and their team only had 2. So dropping this a little bit, making sure that the game's really nice and compact and real to life, that's what we're looking for. Line width, we've gone 50. Normally this is about 45 lowest and 50 highest. I think 50 highest because my wingers seem to be getting a lot of space, and I was trying to mitigate rather than really messing with our wing backs and our fullbacks, because I like playing with my fullbacks. Rather than that happening, widening the game a little bit so that there was a few kind of holes between the centre backs, because again, this is one of the things that I've seen for this season or this year in FC25. That I've not been able to really slide balls through to my striker and kind of have them to control the ball, turn, to run at players, and even to get past them or to hit those line splitting passes. So this width feels quite nice, and also feels quite nice for my wingers as well, because they have a little bit of space but not too much space. But your fullback positioning is still quite high. I've left it where it is because I don't think it needs to change. Again, I've been kind of proved wrong in the fact that my wingers in my career mode were being a bit just completely unmarked. But in the last couple of games where I've tested this, the width along with this being so high up the pitch, they kind of play in possession, they play really high, but as soon as they get kind of defensive, because their line height as well is quite, the centre backs are almost meeting them, so their line is higher. So we're not kind of playing in behind the fullbacks, it's just that the line of the defensive line has stepped up. So your centre backs have come up to meet your fullbacks, which means that they kind of take the ball off you, or you've got to be really good with your wingers, and that kind of the overlapping pass has got to be really good, because if not, it's going to be offside. So I think that is a really nice combination in the defensive quarters things. Power bar, I think I've upped this to maybe 47. I had it at 45. Someone told me go as low as 40. It didn't really work for me, but I really like 47. So 47 for me at the minute is it almost is that I mean it. When I'm hitting a ball, I fucking mean it, and it's really nice. So 47, really good area. And then first touch control, this is a bit of a controversial one even for me, but 67, quite high, but again means that it's a slower pace of the game. I'm the biggest critique in this stat here, but I think we've hit it on the head here with 67 for this set of sliders. Feels really nice, and the games that I've played testing these sets of sliders out, I've really enjoyed. They've been really hard, they've been, I don't know, exciting. We've scored goals, we've conceded goals, there's been midfield battles, there's been red cards, everything. It's had everything, so I'm really liking these. They feel really nice. But again, change them around a little bit, play with the values as you see fit and how it works for your game, because everyone's different, you know what I mean? But as we get to the CPU sliders then, so tackle aggression is 62. Now, again, I've flirted with this a little bit. For this last game, I upped it to 62, and I think I got a red card. I upped it to 62, and I got a red card. But I've also played games where players have had a couple of yellow cards or even red cards. So again, 62 feels nice along with that line height of the defensive line. I think 62 feels really good. But I would drop it down to 59 maximum if you're going to drop it down. But 62 is where we're going. Build up speed 58. This was a bit lower last time, and I found that teams weren't being able to kind of break me down really. So they were winning the ball off me and they were playing it around the back and blah. So 58 feels nice. They get the ball, they get it up there, and there was a time in this career mode that I've just filmed where one of my wingers is playing around with it, he gets nicked, and without even thinking, the player who nicked it off him turns, plays a beautiful through ball to their striker, who runs through, gets fouled, penalty. And I think that wouldn't have happened if this build-up speed was a little bit lower. And that game, in the end, I ended up coming away from it victorious, but I would have come away even more victorious without them really scoring if that hadn't happened. So it's one of those things. I think it's feeling really, really good. But if you're finding that teams literally are going through on goal every single time, I would say drop it down to maybe 50 lowest, but 58 for me feels really, really nice. Shot frequency 67. I'm not really finding that teams are taking long shots, so this could be a little bit higher, but the amount of goals that teams have scored against me and some of the types of goals have been really, really nice, so 67 feels really good. First touch pass frequency, you don't want this to be too high, because teams just start tiki-taking around you and you can't get the ball off them. It's not realistic, especially when you like Braga or I don't know, Union Berlin. They're not going to pass your PSGs, your Liverpools off the park. So it's really nice that this is quite realistic. First touch pass frequency at 48. Cross frequency at 99. I told you I was going to do it. I might as well, because they're still not crossing balls, and headering is still crap. Dribble frequency is at 47. You don't want it to be too high, because you can just naturally just take the ball off players. So that coupled with that feels really, really good. Feels realistic that they're going to pass around you. They're going to actually try and take you on. And this dribble frequency being so low, 45, 47, coupled with this one, I'm really excited about this, because I feel that players are actually doing skills. And there's another thing that people have been asking me for ages and ages and ages. Should we turn it on or should we not? I've been playing in these last couple of games competitor mode and player-based difficulty both on, and I've actually enjoyed it for once. So I don't know what that means. I will try. I'll keep playing with them. I'll keep messing around and things like that. But that's been a question previously. Have you got them on or off? I'm keeping them on. Let's try them. Let's have a look. Let's do it together. We'll have a look at the camera then. So height 15, zoom 7, 10 far focus, 0 ball tracking, 0 penalty area zoom, and that is it. That's all I always use. I don't really change it, to be honest. I can't remember who even told me to do that. But as we look onto gameplay as well, we go with the competitive preset. Assisted headers off. We might as well, because the fucking headers are crap anyway. Shot assistance, always precision. Never should be anything else. You are wrong if you've got it on anything else. Time finishing off, crap. Auto flare pass, no, you don't want to be doing flare passes when you don't even mean to. And I think I'm locking this in for the rest of it. Everything semi, but lob pass assistance, I always have it on manual. Everything else, directional for your assistance for clearing, advanced defending, auto blocks being on, and all of that good stuff. Everything else, that's about it. So that is all for this new set of sliders. Geezers, thanks for waiting on them. I know I can be a bit slow at times. Normally what I do is I wait until there's a need for these. I could stick them out every 2 weeks, but I think it would be just boring, and I'd be basically saying the same stuff. So I only do these videos when I actually feel like I can change something for you. And again, as always, make sure that you play around with these. If they don't work for you, come back and tell me. Always like to know, but change them around, please do. Don't feel that you need to lock in these and that you can't change them. Normally I do tell you like which values that you can change and stuff like that, but it's just up to you. Feel it out and just have fun with it. Yeah, is this the best game ever in the whole entire world? Probably not, but we love it. We buy it for a reason, and we might as well, while it's here, make the bloody best of it. Do you know what I mean? But as always, geezers, I'll see you very, very soon. Well, I'll see you next week, actually, with a new series on the horizon. It's much love from me. I'll see you in a bit, and